The Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast is brought to you by Handley Watches. If you want to have a good time, you got to have a good watch. HandleyWatches.com. Isn't that right, Al?
That is, yeah. I say basically, screw that Apple Watch, get yourself a Handley, and you'll know what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Talking Dicks Podcast, the comedy podcast, spin-off podcast of the web series The Two Dicks. Al Ducharme, Studio City, California. Al Romas, Tampa, Florida. Al,
Present.
He is present. We are taking attendance. So we got a lot of football. We got football to talk about. We have questions on today's podcast and some current events.
I was just reading about this Armie Hammer character. I'm fascinated.
The actor.
The actor. He was Social Network. He was in that J. Edgar Hoover movie with DiCaprio. Just a tall, good-looking guy who...
Blue eyes, dark hair, a lot of pussy.
Seems a little freakish. Likes to maybe take a rib out of a woman and put on the grill. Maybe have her cut off a finger so he could put in his pocket. Those kind of things. Actually, one chick, he said he was a full cannibal. He goes, I'm a cannibal, just so you know.
Maybe this is like an Adam and Eve payback since, a rib was taken from Adam and made into Eve. Maybe he wants...
You believe that bullshit? Oh, come on, man.
And that's our podcast.
Religion. I forgot you're of the church. I forgot.
Church is chicken. It's church is chicken. Church's Chicken, Popeyes. Church's Chicken, Popeyes, Kentucky Fried Chicken, or Bojangles. Pick. You have 7 seconds.
Well, since I'm a white dude, I'll probably go Kentucky Fried Chicken. Boy. I haven't had the other one. I haven't had the other ones.
Are you serious?
Whitey don't go to churches and Bojangles. That's not. I'm not. No.
Bojangles.
I'm not a
pretty darn good, I will say. But Popeyes.
I'm not welcome there.
We have a Popeyes like a half a mile from here, and we drive by.
It's a shitty neighborhood. I'm just saying. What? I'm just saying.
There's $1.3 million condos. What are you talking about?
Usually you don't find a Popeyes in your better neighborhoods.
Well, it's California, so all the bad neighborhoods are now.
That's right.
And a lot of white people go to those places. If you want good Southern food and whatnot, you got to go to some of the neighborhoods that are like I
understand. I just never did. I never have gone, never tried. I used to work at a Kentucky Fried before it was Kentucky Fried. Now it's KFC. Somehow Kentucky Fried Chicken, I guess. I don't know if that's whatever. They wanted to shorten it up. They made it KFC.
Long. It's still on.
But I worked there
I've got a secret recipe right here.
Yeah, as a young man, I worked at a Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I'll just tell you, they used to have a thing called barbecue chicken. I think they got rid of it. But barbecue chicken, for those who didn't know, was day-old chicken. So that thing is old. We didn't sell it. Let's paint some freaking barbecue sauce on that thing, throw it in the oven, and sell it as barbecue chicken. And, they did.
So instead of discarding it, like a lot of people, like McDonald's discards cheeseburgers after 22 minutes or something. So you're saying that they would just double down and make double the money on what would normally be... Well, whoever the CEO or the manager that came up with that idea and then got a big raise was genius.
He was. And then a couple of years later, I was in one. I went to one, and I noticed they did not have barbecue chicken anymore. And I'm thinking, I bet there was a lawsuit. Someone got very sick.
Yeah.
But they were a wild place to work. I remember taking the machine.
It was a wild place. Hold on a second. It was a wild place to work?
Yeah.
Why did you quit? Why did you quit?
I stayed a while, but there was a young Puerto Rican guy who was the manager, and he must have been 20. I was 18, and he trained me for 22 minutes or something. He goes, there you go, you got it. And I'm the only one in the kitchen. I go, I don't have anything. I don't know what I'm doing.
22
Where
minutes.
Are you going?
You got it. I'm going on vacation. You're manager. Here you go, kid.
I remember 2
years younger. Here you go, kid.
The fryer was called a henny penny. He goes, you fill the henny penny with oil, you throw the chicken in, you got it. I'm like, I don't have anything. So he leaves. And the girl is up front getting orders. She's like, 9-piece, 6-piece. I'm like, I don't know how to do anything. So I call. She goes, "Here's his number. Here's his number."
You got to call the guy.
I call the guy. I hear wild music playing, girls. He's like, "Yo," I go, "Yeah, hey man, this is Al from the Massapequa store." He goes, "Yeah." I go, "I don't know what I'm doing, dude. You got to come back." He goes, "I ain't coming back." He was at a party. He was having a great time.
Yeah, why would he come back? You got it. You got it.
I got it. I mean, I probably poisoned and killed half of Massapequa. I had no idea what I was doing.
If you're deep frying, there's no
That's all it
salmonella.
was. I just took it out when the buzzer rang, and I took the tongs and I put it in boxes.
Yeah, you're not wiping it on your testicles or your anus because it's hot chicken. So it's pretty safe. The tongs to the box.
I guess so. I mean, no one ever complained. I can't believe it. And then at the end of the end of the shift, that's when the girl working there told me, she goes, "You got to take that unsold chicken and paint it with barbecue sauce." I'm like, what? What the hell's going on here?
What's the job description? Hold on. Art.
Yeah.
Oh, I put art. I'm an art major. So you had to put, what do you mean? You had to put the black lines on it to make it look like it was barbecued?
No, just red barbecue sauce. Just paint the whole bird with, the red sauce, and then put it in the fridge for tomorrow.
So the flavor actually isn't in the meat.
Oh, it was just on the skin. Just on the skin.
Oh, because real barbecue, you cook it through the meat.
Of course. This was bullshit.
It was BS.
And then 2 days later, I go to work, and the guy goes, "All right, come on, you got to go in the freezer." Like, what do you mean?
Now drop your
chickens
shorts.
are delivered. I got a saw. I got a circular saw.
What?
And you got to cut the birds up. They come fully frozen birds.
Not anymore, right?
Well, this is 1980, sir. This is 1980. So you got a little thing of water to dip your fingers in, little warm water, and then you start sawing.
It's like Dexter.
Your thighs and your.
It's like Army Hammer.
Army Hammer.
There it is. Full circle. That was that story.
KFC. Yeah.
All right.
So, but is he done? Do you think he comes back from this, or is he going to be in a movie and
it's so funny.
That guy's a cannibal.
Because, is he practicing it, or is he fantasizing and talking about it? It gets him hard, because there's a lot of people that have, fantasies.
Weird shit going.
I know people, and they tell me later. Yeah, I was like, what? And sometimes
I agree. You shouldn't lose your job over thoughts or your thing, whatever you're into, but. It's all coming out like this is private stuff, and now like the New York Post had a thing today where they go, "These are the Instagram pages he follows," and then I click on the link, and it's pigs' heads, like decapitated pigs' heads.
Social media platforms. If you really want to keep it private, you keep it private. You don't post it.
I don't think anyone should lose their job over just some weird shit, but will he? Because if he's in a movie. Like George Reeves, Superman, couldn't be in a movie because everybody goes, "That's Superman." Now are people going to go, "Oh, that guy's a cannibal. That guy's a fucking freak"? How can you have him in a movie?
I don't know. And by the way, the Superman thing is, yes, back then when there was very little to choose from, you were Superman. But nowadays you can be Superman and then be something else.
Well, but this was TV, and then he wanted to make. Remember that movie with Affleck played him? Hollywood Land.
Yes.
It's a very good movie, Hollywood Land, and how George Reeves just couldn't. He was in Gone with the Wind, and he had a good part, and then they cut him out because they did test screenings, and people were like, "That's Superman," and then the executives were like, "Fuck this, get him out."
Wait a minute.
They cut his
Gone with the Wind was before his Superman series, so you better go back, look it up.
I might have the wrong movie.
You get on that Google machine and you start.
I might have the
dictating.
Wrong movie. Where's Brian Freites when you fucking need him? But
George Reeves is probably like 3 years old.
No.
All right. When was Gone with the Wind released? 1930, late 30s? 38?
No. Was it really? I'm wrong.
No. Was it really?
Not the 30s? Gone with the Wind?
Yeah, it was in color. It was like color was around. And
in the 30s?
Color was around, but they didn't have. It was so expensive, so that's why The Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind. Those were the big color.
Right.
When Dorothy goes to Oz, it's in color, and it was incredibly expensive.
We've all seen it.
It's been paid for.
Well, I'm wrong with that, but anyway, he had.
I'm going to make you in black and white right now.
Maybe it was. From
You're in black and white.
Here, I like it. I feel like a time traveler.
All right.
This is where
back to color. Hey, you see?
maybe From Here to Eternity. Who knows? Some fucking movie. And people said that's Superman, and he was done. And that's one of the theories on why he killed himself, because he couldn't work anywhere.
Frankly, Scarlett, I can't fly for real.
Is that George Reeves? That's pretty good.
No, it was Clark Gable as Superman because he was not.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a fuck.
You should have told us who it was before you did it.
But that's the no-no. A good impressionist will not tell you who he is. He just goes, and you figure it out.
Nobody's saying you were good. You know what I'm saying?
What do you got there? Is it time for
questions?
Yeah. Your mother's big.
Your mother's got a big bum. She's got a big bum, lad. She got a big bum.
Who's that?
I don't know, but
just random British guy. Okay,
yeah, whatever.
All right, not bad. Hey, we got a question. Got a question today on the Instagram page. Mm-hmm. Instagram, Two Dicks, whatever. I think we're Two Dicks or Two Dicks Two. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Alfred's preoccupied.
I'm making adjustments on the fly, and the people that are listening wouldn't know. Thanks for bringing the
with your fly. You're making adjustments with your fly.
Yeah,
that's the
when
problem.
We get to questions, I get very excited.
Yeah, it's an exciting time in the show, no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. Hey guys, would love to hear your favorite road story. Favorite road story.
Favorite? Wow, there's so many of them. I don't have a favorite. I have many that are not. I can tell you about them because they're vivid, not necessarily funny. If that's what you mean.
Well, it said favorite, didn't say funny. So, favorite.
I don't even remember the bad ones or the annoying ones. The fun ones.
Well, that's like
the fun ones are boring. It's like, wow, we had this gig and we fucked some chicks. I mean,
I'd like to hear that one. That's the one.
Turned out it was a dude.
Oh.
You want to hear that one?
Yeah.
Let's go to the videotape.
Who's that?
No, you want to hear mine first? Yeah. I will tell you that one that's popped, because when you mentioned it, one pops in my head, and I have a few of them. But it goes back, this is in the early 90s, going up to those ski resorts up in New Hampshire and Vermont. Mm-hmm. And I believe we were at Smuggler's Notch, and I was with comedian Rick D'Elia, now residing in Vegas. He just got married. Congratulations, Ricky. Ricky D.
Stay focused.
Ricky D. So we go up and we do this thing, this ski resort. It's January, and it's the hottest January on record since they began keeping records. Like
I don't think
100 years. It was January, Smuggler's Notch, northern Vermont, and it was 81 degrees.
That's the gayest sounding ski lodge I've ever heard of, by the way.
First of all, when you tell your stories, I listen for about 34 seconds, and then I zing. You're like, right. Tell us your story, Al. And then as soon as I say, well, what?
I'm just saying, Smuggler's Notch.
Whoa. I can mute you. Why don't I just mute him?
Smugglers.
I have the power.
I don't know who that is either. Announce your impression.
You will remain silent for the duration of his storytelling.
Put it on the screen, the name of the voice you're doing, for the Patreon fans. Other people can't see it, but they could if they joined the Patreon. There you go. Always got to get a Patreon ad in there. Please, continue with your tale, Al.
Thank you very much. Road
Take
story.
2.
So, we do the usual. They give us like a big ski lodge cabin. It's huge. It's like 4 bedrooms. It's got big fireplace. It's really nice. And of course, we're only going to be able to enjoy it for about 12 to 14 hours because we actually stayed overnight. So Ricky D'Elia, is on stage and he's doing pretty well. And the bartender is a real beauty. She's a cutie beauty. And the entire mountainside is mud. So everybody's inside, at the club watching the comedy show. It's packed. And she is a doll. And I go on stage, and he cockblocks me and chats it up with her. And she starts slinging him for the free drinks, of course, because he's a comedian. And they really hit it off. Great crowd. I get off stage, and she's like, hey, let's hang out after. So there's a couple of other people involved. We all kind of hang out as a group, and they kind of like saunter off and do their thing. He ends up staying at her place, banging their shit out of her. Now, this is what happens in these small towns up in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
I slept in my bed, and he did not sleep in his bed. And because it wasn't messed up, it was completely made, the person cleaning the room told everybody on the mountain that we're gay and we slept together because it was only one bed slept in.
Yeah. Right.
And we're so homophobic because we're blue collar.
And you're in a place called Smuggler's Notch.
It's called Smuggler's Notch. So and because we're so we had this. So all the comedians that went up the next month, they're like, dude, you and Dalia, like, you're pickle smoochers. What's going on? And again, this is not anti-gay. It's just when you're a straight male, blue collar in New England, and there's a rumor going around that you're butt buddies. It's it's not flattering.
Sure. Right. But I can see how that could be, that she saw one bed. It makes sense. And you're in a gay ski resort called Smuggler's Notch. So it all makes sense.
Right. So I said, Rick, dispel the rumor. Tell them that you went home with Darcy. And he's like, no, dude, I don't want anybody to know that I slept with a woman.
Oh, I'd rather...
So we'd rather have them think that he slept with a dude.
I fucked Al Ducharme, but not Darcy. What are you, nuts? That's okay.
It's
and
so
I
fucking
the
lame.
Shit out of Ducharme.
They actually became a couple. Like they were together for like 2 years or more.
Really?
And so he didn't want. She was
you never go
gorgeous,
full bartender,
and she was bright. She wasn't a dummy. I banged some bartenders.
You bang them. You don't date them. That's page 2 of the comic handbook. You leave town. She stays.
I agree. I did leave town.
You leave Smuggler's Blues, and she stays and bangs the next comic who comes to town.
I had,
you know what I mean? 2
female bartenders. Let me clarify.
Yeah.
This was not a comedy club. I just went to a bar to go have like a burger and beer or something after my shows. And fucking send over hey, a free drink. You've been here for thanks so much. And then they start chatting it up with me, find out I'm a comedian, invite me back to their place.
Oh.
Wow.
Both?
Huh? So what I'm saying is I was like, she goes, why don't you hang out? Why don't you hang out? I'll be off in a little while.
Was this one bartender or 2? You said 2.
No, separate incidents, years apart.
Oh.
What I'm saying is, I was like, she's like looking around the whole place. She goes, I guess he'll do.
Right.
She said, choices are getting slim here. Let me go with Ducharme.
She was looking, goes, that might be weird. What the hell?
No, the point is, I made her laugh without being on stage.
That's all they want. Ladies just want a man to make them laugh. Somebody had a joke. They go, yeah, really? I don't think any broads are turning down Brad Pitt for Carrot Top. You know what I mean? Like, just make me laugh. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Laughter is second. Overall, laughter wins out, but it's second. It's all looks, and it's all about sexual attraction.
Hey, who booked that gig anyway? How come I never worked Smuggler's Douchebag Notch, whatever it was called?
Well, apparently it's been renamed to Smuggler's Cock.
Yeah. Who was the booking that at the time?
It was a Barry Katz gig.
Oh, okay.
Barry Katz had like 27 one-nighters. But what was great about the ski resorts, and the reason why we would drive 5 hours up to them, was because they would let you stay an extra night if you wanted. They give you lift tickets for free, feed you. You made money. You learn. I learned how to ski throughout.
I did too,
comedy.
but I used to go to Burlington a lot. Burlington, Vermont. I think it was Comedy Zone, maybe.
Yeah.
And that was the same thing. I went there early. I stayed later. I had free tickets, and so that's how I learned to ski too.
Yeah, I couldn't afford to go skiing, especially starting out in comedy.
Talking about. Well, that was a hell of a tale, Al. We enjoyed it. Thanks for...
Hey, my tale. At least I got tail.
What was the road story? Was basically people thought you were gay, but you're not. Is that what you're kind of?
Well, that's why I had to tell you. But I also, for my ego, I had to tell you that I banged a couple of
and then you banged a couple of
bartenders.
Yeah, good man, good man. My, do you ever work? Ever work the comic strip in El Paso, Texas?
Never.
Okay. I used to go there once a year, and it's on the border of Juarez.
Right, the capital murder of the world, right?
Yeah, but
murder capital of the world.
Mid-'90s, it wasn't quite as bad. It was bad, but not like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked El Paso. I was closing, headlining, and the other two comics were very young. They were like newbies. They were in their early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So we got paid Saturday night, and then they go, let's go to Juarez. We'll go to whorehouses and drink tequila. They heard rumors. Shots are $1, and and I don't know how old I am, but I'm too old to be going to Juarez. But I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'll go with you guys. So
I'm too old to go, but I'm like, fuck it, I'll go.
Yeah, I'll go. And I forget, we drove or we got there, and we drank these $1 tequila shots. $1 tequila, but it was like a milky white tequila. It was the cheapest garbage tequila. It was almost like cloudy, almost like a milky look to the shot.
Like someone came in it?
I didn't ask questions.
You did cum shots. Cum shots.
I don't speak Spanish. So we got buckets of beer for like, $4. You get 12 beers. I mean, it was that kind of night.
Mm-hmm.
So cut to 2 hours later, I'm in a big empty-ish kind of whorehouse, and I'm walking around. I'm trying to find these other two maniacs. I don't know where they are, but every room is like, huge empty room with just a mattress in the corner. You know what I mean? And
what's going on there?
The madam. So I'm the only guy because I'm drunk, but I'm also like, I'm not fucking a Juarez whore. So I'm walking around, and the madam, the big chubby madam, tries to grab my hand, and she's like, "Come, I go, no, I'm looking trying to find the other two guys." So eventually they're done. They come out. We all get together. Now we got to go back to El Paso.
Oh, 2 hours.
So we're walking to the border, and now it's like 2 a.m, and there's a food cart,
mm-hmm.
and the guy had been there all day selling his, various meats on a stick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm drunk as hell, hungry. I said to the guy, let me have one. And he's like, no. He's throwing shit out because it's done. It's rotted. It's not like KFC. He's not going to paint some fucking sauce on it. This thing is garbage. Throw it out. It was probably squirrel or, whatever.
Wait, let me interrupt your story 1 second. So KFC, the corporation, is taking old meat and reselling it, and the guy on the Juarez border is throwing his out. Okay, thank you.
That's right.
America.
There you go. See? Corporate and a man of integrity. A man with 9 cents in his pocket has integrity. So I go, there's one there. I go, yeah, and it's wrapped in tin foil. I go, you got one right there. And the guy goes, no. And he tries to show me, like, I'm going to throw it in that bin. No. I go, dude, and I take like a $20 bill. I go, give me that thing. And the two comics are dying. They're cracking up. And I take it. It's on a stick. I just start eating it. I eat the whole thing. The guy is like mortified. I mean, he's like, oh, no. I go, yeah, good. Delish. Thank you. Delicious. And I walk across the border. We get back to our hotel. And I try to go to bed, and I'm in bed, within a half hour, 20 minutes, my stomach is making these, that.
Yeah, it's like the Loch Ness Monster. Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then it's get out of bed now,
mm-hmm.
because that shit you ate is coming out 3 ways. 3 ways. And I barely made.
This is Al's story about a 3-way. Go ahead.
This is my version of a 3-way. How sad is that? So I get to the bathroom. I don't know what happens because I wake up. Maybe 4 hours later, I'm on the floor, half in the bathroom, half in that hallway.
Mm-hmm.
I had passed out. I mean, and I'm soaked from sweat, sick literally as a dog. And my flight that morning was, 9:30 a.m. I look at the clock in the hotel. Again, this is the 90s, no cell phone. I look at the clock. It's about 11:45. I've missed my flight. I got to check out of the room in 15 minutes. I'm laying on the floor. There's some cleanup to be done. You know what I mean? I'm not.
And then the guy at the door who's going to come in and clean up is the same guy who sold you the meat.
No, no. So it basically ended up, I stayed an extra day. I paid for an extra day in the room. And after maybe 7 o'clock, I was able to walk outside and buy some Gatorade at a 7-Eleven and, crackers. I mean, and then the next day I was able to fly home. I moved my flight, but it took maybe 3 or 4 days where I couldn't eat anything.
You probably had alcohol and food poisoning at the same time, but the alcohol may have helped you with the food poisoning because you could have been dead.
Well, I told my doctor that story back in the day, and he was like, you were lucky. He goes, you could have died. He goes, you don't know what you ate. You have no idea. And he goes, the quality of that meat was garbage anyway, and now the guy's trying to throw it out. Imagine the guy going home and telling his wife that's loco.
It's so weird how we are in the United States. Like my wife, she doesn't like anything left out. She doesn't like to even go near raw meat. Leave it alone.
That's sad.
But she doesn't like. She's like always covering things up and spraying and cleaning. And I said, you don't have to do that. It's okay. They want you to leave meat out for 10 minutes to get closer to room temperature, so when you cook it, it has better flavor.
You do some mansplaining to her?
I did a little bit. Yeah, I tend to do that.
Listen, you don't have to do that. Oh, really, mister? Tell me what I should do.
Yeah, I sometimes do that.
Work.
And she humors me, and then she slams me.
Yeah.
But she had a good joke today. What was her joke today on Twitter? Bernadette Pauly. What was it?
Yeah, good joke about the My Pillow guy. I forget how, but she basically said something like, "What's the problem with the mine MEIN pillow guy instead of mine?"
I know.
Very fun. Very funny. Good.
Clever. Little Hitler reference if you're not with us. Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, check her out, Bernadette Pauly on Twitter. Some good jokes
and Bernie Pauly, she goes by as well. My name is Mike Lindell, the inventor of My Pillow. I was a crack addict. Now I'm in the office, the Oval Office, giving the president who's on his way out advice. Martial law, it's a great thing.
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
No, really, don't mess with me, because I don't come down to the bus station and slap the dick out of your mouth when you're working, do I? I'm sorry, man. The guy fucking came at me. What do you think, folks?
No way.
Okay, show.
All right. Subscribe, Mary.
Go to patreon.com/forward the two dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?